Welcome back to the MakeSo shop. I got a question over the internet about the heat presses and how we apply our t-shirts here. And so today it's going to be a good time for us to do our first equipment showcase. So today we're going to go over the heat press that I use. Okay, to start off, there's a whole bunch of heat presses on the market. You've probably been familiar seeing the big, large, easy presses or heat presses. Sorry, I'm saying easy press, but that's a name brand. The heat presses that you see in your t-shirt shops, where it's a large, either it's standalone or it sits on a table, and the element comes down and you pull the clamp and you come down on it. Those heat presses are perfectly fine. They're great for shops. The reason why I didn't go with that type of heat press is because what we're developing here is, as we said, is things for people to be able to use in the home. And so with the profile and the storage capability of the Cricut EastPress was the first selling point, but it was not. So first, let me introduce you to the Cricut EastPress. The Cricut EastPress that I have is the 12x9, like I said. It has a power button, it has a temperature button, a timer button, plus and minuses to go up and down for it, and then the Cricut button, which actually activates the timer and a readout for what it is. We will go ahead and cut that on for you. Mine is set to Celsius right now, but you could set the temperature by just simply picking the temperature button, pressing up and down to change the temperature, and you change the timer by hitting the timer and pressing up and down. When you're ready to time your shirts, how long you're pressing them, you just hit the Cricut button and then it times it from there. So it has an onboard timer. Very easy, very simple, which is another reason why I picked this as my press. As you can see, it is a full, very clean element that evenly heats across the whole press there at the bottom. This is what's called a platen. As you see on some of your major presses, they have two platens, an upper platen and a lower platen. But the lower platen usually doesn't have a heating element, and it takes its heat from the upper platen. So what you can get with those heat presses, you'll get heat coming from the top and the bottom. Because of that, a lot of people take their shirts when they're pressing from the EastPress, they will turn them inside out. I actually don't do that because I tend to press more of specialty materials, glitters, electrics, a brick, and these materials are not like the smooth vinyl. The smooth vinyl is meant to be pressed hot with a lot of pressure, and you're trying to fuse that vinyl into the fabric. Whereas some of your specialty materials will actually activate the glue on the back and sits on top of the material. So you'll never want a glitter to like fuse with your fabric underneath. You want that glue to activate and get a proper connection across the fabric that you're using. So as you can see, this is a small profile, easy to store, easy to put away when you're not using type of device. But also what it tends to is you can take this device and you can do multiple things with it. And that's really became the really selling point for me. With the ability to pick this thing up and move it around and put it in any position that I want to, doing not only just regular shirts, but onto the sleeve, onto the pants, across the back of shorts. These items come real in handy when you have this full range of motion and I can just stick the heat where I want to. I've also seen people do hats with this press. I have never done a hat with this press. I would say it's quite difficult, but definitely doable. On your traditional heat press, clamp heat press, it is definitely not doable. You would need a hat press. I've seen people do mugs with this press, which again is not doable on your traditional press. But also what I've seen people do is do HTV to wood signs and non-traditional things that you would put HTV to. And the movability or the maneuverability, sorry, movability I don't think is a word, maneuverability that you have with this press allows you to apply it to many things. And so the price of this is about $179 US, which is pretty comparable to a regular heat press. So the regular big clamp heat press are going to be about your same price. So you're really making your decision based on what you can actually do with it. This press, to me, I can do much more with it than a traditional heat press. And it's also the storage size in a home environment. I'm able to get this up and get this out the way. So this is why I really made the decision myself to get this heat press. The storage size and its versatility. Now, what I've done with that is I've also incorporated the EasyPress Mini. Now, I have done hats with this. I have done shoes with this. And I have not done mugs myself, but I've seen people, it's made for doing mugs. This is a tiny little machine that heats up just like the big EasyPress. Both of these machines will actually heat up to do sublimation temperatures, which I think is 400 degrees Fahrenheit. I don't know the Celsius because I really haven't done sublimation as of yet. But as you can see with this small profile, you can really get into a lot of different various places. If I wanted to heat press something against this little side here, I could just roll that right across there and actually bring the heat to actually get a good press across there. It also has this iron-like tip on the front, so you can get into the nooks and the crannies, anywhere you want to go. This one comes at a price of, I think, $60. So when you're looking at them both together, the big EasyPress at $180, this at $60, you're looking at $240, and you would create a tandem of heat presses between these two that I would say you can press most items that you would come across. And this is the reason why I went with these, because they're very versatile, very easy to use. They give you the ability to do the high heat, the sublimation that you will want to do. They give you the ability to do the small projects that you would want to do. You could even do the small projects without even getting into this, the smaller mini press. Like I said, I've seen people do hats with the Cricut, regular Cricut EasyPress, and I've seen people do actually mugs and all types of things. A little bit more of a risk because you're bringing your hands more closer to the heat of the bigger press, but it actually can be done. Now, do you absolutely need to go out and buy a press to actually do a shirt? And the answer is absolutely no. I definitely started myself when I was just starting out and said, ooh, I want to see what this is and do it for fun with a home iron, and had great results, had some horrible failures, but great results as well. So you can get good results out of a home iron if you're picking this up to do this just for yourself or to make a shirt for your friend or a happy birthday thing. I wouldn't suggest running out and getting an EasyPress. If you're doing this, if you have a social club or you have a group that's doing 5, 6, 7 t-shirts every year for different events or whatever, one of these items are definitely for you. And this is where it really comes in, the size difference really comes into play. Because if you are doing social events or something, you're not doing that every day. So you don't want this a big heat press sitting in the middle of your space every day. This thing gets put away nice and comes out only when you need it. So these are the two presses that I use when I'm pressing my t-shirts. They work for me well. I'm not steering anybody away from the bigger presses, because the bigger presses definitely are workhorses. If you're going to do a lot of t-shirts and you're pumping them out, you definitely want to get the big press and just hit it with your big press as a normal t-shirt would do. But if you're doing homemaking or making t-shirts at home or doing it just every once in a while, I would definitely consider the EasyPress. So that is my equipment showcase for the week. You'll see this as we go through making our t-shirts. You'll see the EasyPress in action, and thanks for tuning in. Again, if you want to join us on this journey of learning how to make things, not only t-shirts, wood items with our laser cutters and casting and hydro dipping, if you really want to get into that with us on this journey, please subscribe, like our videos. Thanks for the 31 people that watched our last video. I love you all, and I'll see you in the next one.